9:30. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Amy, and we're here to help you get creative. We're back at the macrame, and we're gonna have it done today.
It's taken 2 sessions, but here we are.
Yes, if you missed our video last week, we started a macrame towel holder, and it didn't go exactly as planned.
Part of it did.
Part of it did. The very first part, we've got the square knots down pat, but it was the diagonal clove hitch knots. I think I got that right.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that we had some difficulty with, and it turns out we're not the only ones.
These are hard.
This is a hard knot, and it's confusing for a lot of people, according to the new video that we found that explained how to do it, and we'll link that one down below because it's very helpful.
Okay, so let's get right into it, and we'll just finish the project up.
Yes, we'll get it done, and it won't be a fail.
That's right. No fail.
Before you start, tie a knot on the end, both ends of every rope, because that's going to make it a whole lot easier. All right, we got this.
We got this.
We've already done 2 little test knots, so we know we're doing the right thing. However, should we undo those because it's like...
Yeah, let's undo them.
Yeah, because we're going to show you how to do it. So the trick to these is that you are going to use the first piece of cord.
It's cord.
It's cord. Okay. So
I called it thread a few minutes ago, so
yeah,
whatever.
Rope, whatever.
Whatever.
So you're going to take the first piece of cord, and that's going to be your working piece. If we didn't have the square knots here, we have this kind of to follow along with the diagonal, but if you hold, however you hold this strand as you tie the knots on, then you'll get that diagonal.
Hold it in the direction you want to go.
Hold it in the direction you want to go. If you're doing something else, you can actually hold it straight and they'll be go straight across, but we're going to go in a diagonal. So you take the working yarn and then your second piece. So I'm holding this on top. Take your second piece of cord and go over your working. Don't let this part confuse you, okay? So it goes over, and then you're going to go under the working yarn and through that loop, and then pull it tight.
It's so funny, then we do it and I'm just like, oh, it's just a knot.
Yeah, it feels right now.
They're all knots.
It feels easy. Right. Now you're going to do that 2 times for each piece. So I'm going to go back over. The whole piece, these are so long, I'm afraid now. Under and through that loop. And get it tight. Now, this is where we made our mistake last week. For some reason, I don't know what we did, but you're going to keep this working yarn in your hand at all times, because that you're going to tie all of your knots on this one. And we're going to, so let's go to the next one, and then I've got this split, so I know we're going to go down this way, and then we're going to go down this way. Over. Now this looks right.
Yep. How many am I supposed to have right here?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then your working is 8. Now we're gonna go from this side. This is our working yarn. And then we're gonna have to think a little bit backwards, or maybe just try not to think too much. Working yarn, you're gonna go over and through. Now we're going to keep this one as our working and then use this one to tie a knot around it to kind of close that gap. Now we're going to do this again and start with this as our working and tie all of our knots onto this one. I think when we used to do friendship bracelets, we'd stick our thumb in the air and that would help us go over and then through the loop. That's what I remember. And we even talked about that last week.
We would have them threaded on our fingers and then do this.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we ended up doing a third row because we thought that, this is the halfway point, so we wanted it to be a little bit longer. Now we're gonna fill in these sides with 3 square knots on each side. So we're gonna start with the first 4 strands, and we want the square knot to be, we want it to make this look long. So you don't wanna hold your things out to the side and make the square knot, you wanna pull them down as you make it. So we've got 4 strands. Remember, we're always starting on the right. And we're gonna go over and under everything and back up through this. Here's where you tug and straighten it and pull in line there. You're gonna have a really loose one on the side here. And then the second knot is gonna start from the left. And we're going to the other side next. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, for the middle one, we're just going to do away with 2 and then take the next 4. Smush, smush, smush. All right, and then the last one is just gonna be on the 4 outside strands again. Nice. So now we should have this diagonal here, where we're just going to do everything again. But this time, instead of starting on the outside with our working yarn, we're going to start on the inside with our working yarn.
What number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8th one. We have 10 knots left. So we're just gonna mirror what we did in the beginning. So 1 square knot in the middle, and then 2, then 3, and then end with 4. And we're holding our breath for this little guy right
Crossing
here
our
because
fingers.
he seems really short. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start with the center 4. All right. What is this little guy gonna
Look
do?
at that.
Okay, so if they say like 84 inches, do 100.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
$2,000 years later.
No, our shirts haven't changed. No, nothing's changed here. We're just continuing
Nope.
from where we just left off.
Yes.
This isn't a third day that we've been working on this.
No, same day.
There wasn't any more tearing out.
It's been about 10 minutes.
The two macrames that you see here are exactly the same.
They're
as
the
what we're
same
working
ones.
on. I mean, it's, yeah. Let's just continue.
Our life is not a lie.
Actually, we're wearing black today because today we're putting macrame to rest.
It's
It's time.
yeah.
Okay,
Let's do it.
actually, yeah, let's just tell them what happened. We did everything right last time, but for some reason...
We did everything right.
We did everything right, but we ran out of cord. And so we just reworked everything and cut our cord at 100 inches instead of 85, I think it was.
Right, so hopefully you've watched everything before you cut your cord at, what did we say, 85?
It's always a good idea to watch tutorials all the way through before you start your project.
We're just trying to teach you that lesson.
Exactly.
That's just the whole moral of all of this.
Maybe through the magic of editing, we'll let you know 100 inches is better from the very beginning. Right. But anyway, today we are going to finish this.
It will be done and laid to rest.
And because I don't like doing things over and over and over again, I just went crazy and I did a different pattern. And I did videotape.
Great.
Videotape. Do we say that? Or is that like an old-fashioned thing?
We camcordered it.
I recorded myself doing this new pattern of hearts because it was something new and exciting. I'm going to put that as a little extra video this week if you want to watch
the other pattern.
The other pattern.
Other pattern.
All we have left to get this finished is to put the other round ring on the bottom. For the first step, we're gonna have to turn the macrame over and use our needles to do a little bit of threading of the back.
Let's do it.
Even though this is a different pattern, we're gonna do the same process for putting the ring on it. Basically what you need to do is find the 2 center pieces of all of your square knots, and then we are going to weave those back up through. At the end, you wanna have the same number of cords as you have knots on the other side. On the original one, we have 8 knots. On the new one, I've got 6. So she's gonna make sure that she has 8 pieces of rope to work with, and I'll have 6. Because we were so smart and decided to put knots on our rope to help with no fraying, I'm gonna undo those for my little pieces on the end here before. We're gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna do that too.
Or like cut the knots off.
I think I might do that.
Before we sew them in.
There's plenty here, right?
There's plenty on yours yet. Oh. Cut it. You've even got a good pair of scissors.
Okay. Yeah, that took way too long just then.
Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you have 8, right? Back to the front.
Back to the front.
There we go. Now the goal is for the bottom to look like the top, so we're gonna do this lark's head knot kind of reverse. So we take our our wood ring.
A wood ring.
You are going to take your first cord and put it into the wood ring. And then as it goes back up, you want to make sure you're on the left side of that cord. Then you're going to wrap it around the front. And then keep it a little loose right here. You need that loop. Go up under the hoop. Wood ring, what are we gonna call it? And then back up through the loop. And when you're done, it looks like the lark's head knot. This long string, the long part of the cord is gonna be flipped back around the back, so you can just move it to the back. And then you do that however many more times. And just make sure you come up on the left side.
So through, we gotta go through there?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Around the front.
Under
under, so up through it, and then
I know, because you look at it, it's continuous. It's like, how did they do the same?
exactly. Now we know the secret.
Now you know our secret. Which is their secret. Which is
really not a secret.
Not a secret at all.
Now let's flip it over and weave these back through. Just find a spot to weave them back through. On this pattern, it'd be just easy to weave them back through that same spot.
Just this top guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we'll add a little hot
Okay.
glue so they're not gonna go anywhere after that. On this pattern, I'll just have to, I don't have a square knot in the middle, so I'll just weave them through somewhere. Yeah, this is the part nobody's gonna see anyway. And if your guest comes over and starts inspecting the back of your towel holder,
It's a compliment.
yeah.
How did she do that?
Now there should be batches. And so we're just gonna pull that little batch down, put a little bit of glue there and stick it up. Now we are going to just trim these off right above where I glued them.
All right.
Something to be proud of. Look what we did, Mom. She'll be so proud.
So I have to say, I was talking to my dear mother-in-law, whose birthday it was this past week.
Happy birthday.
She assured me when we texted, she said she was just busy watching us attempt macrame. I think attempt was the right word.
Yeah.
She assured me that way back yonder, they would make up knots. They
Oh,
made up
really?
their own knots. They made up their own knots.
So,
Just go with it.
yeah, we weren't doing anything out of the ordinary.
You should have just left our knots.
I like how these turned out though. And I already found our next macrame project. So, are you ready? It'll be a while. It's gonna
We'll
take-
just wear black because
Yeah.
apparently black is the color to put it to rest.
Exactly. We'll have to wait long enough that we forget how
Right.
much fun it is.
Yeah. Because we don't want to have too much fun.
I know, week after week, we can't handle
Too
that.
much. Okay.
All right, well, thanks for joining us through this process.
I'm taking it off.
Yeah.
Let's really celebrate
Let's
this.
go hang them up and see what they look like with a towel in them. Thanks for stopping by.
We'll see you next week.